Yo, what's going on, beautiful souls? So I had a video that I was working on. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, but had some notes on it. So I had a couple titles for it, and I put things you should understand, things we need to understand before starting a family or taking others seriously. Let's see what other titles that I have for it. I went over a couple topics. I'll let you know what I went over. I went over welfare, SNAP, medical, pretty much all the programs that are killing black families. Let's see. The average cost of a child. Drop my phone. The average cost of a child. Alright, so the Google answer, when I looked it up, you can put it on the screen. The average for a child in 2023 was from $15,000 to $17,000 a year. All right. In reality, it doesn't seem like a lot. Of course, you can make by with a lot less than that. But these averages I had to learn. So these averages I had to learn, or I checked, are coming from a two-family household, both man and woman making about $50,000 a year, roughly, give or take. So I'm just putting it down the middle, 50-50. Both parents making $50,000 a year. That's $100,000 average. It was like, every state it was different. That's what I'm saying. It was ranging from like 89,000 all the way to like 200, 150. But it gave me some pretty good numbers. So it's like when you notice how society is moving, you'll pretty much notice that, hundreds are the new 20s. Like, man, I don't know how many times that I felt like I was up, but then that's when I knew I still needed work to do on myself, because it was like I was able to get money, but I wasn't able to keep money. I wasn't able to hold on to it. Like it evaporated, and it didn't necessarily evaporate. I guess I was buying things that I think I needed. There's some things that I still use that I bought, but a lot of things that I'm just like, okay, like a lot of money went towards this, a lot of money vanished towards this. So if you don't start being real frugal with your money, you'll notice it'll start vanishing. And it's like, you have family, you have kids, and you have people that need things that you are responsible for. So there's a lot of things that, we need to think about. And when I think about middle class, and what I realized is that there wasn't ever really a middle class. Middle class was still, a check or two away from broke. The only people that I was really winning were those that were able to, surpass the $100,000 mark and do smart things with their money. Went and got better education. The research that I found is the blacks, we're still, we might be doing better, but as a collective, other cultures are still producing and generating more. I would say, like, even the studies I've seen, it was educational, and then it was like money wise, and it was just like other cultures are still, they're going to education, they're going to get their education for meaningful things, and they're bringing that to the home, and they're multiplying their incomes, and they're taking a little bit further. But that, like I said, that's just from research I've seen. If I can, I'm pretty sure I still got to put it up on my laptop. I'll flash it on the screen, so I'm not just talking BS and sound stupid. Or, because I already know it's going to be with people in the comments. But what I wish I knew when it comes to providing for myself before anyone else. You need a car, you need a crib, you need good credit, you need a savings, $5,000, $10,000 minimum. You need an investment account, emergency funds. You know, a lot of that it could take a while to accumulate. You know what I mean? I know youngsters are not really, especially when I was young, I was thinking about a lot of things, but I wasn't necessarily thinking about all these things. I was thinking about a couple of them here and there. You know, it was phases. I feel like it wasn't like all in, like this is the only thing I need to be focused on. I definitely was someone that let women get in my way a little bit. So there was things that I wasn't able to focus on. That I know I should have been focused on, but I couldn't, because I couldn't. My discipline was very horrible. My discipline was very, very, very horrible. I guess other titles I put down here: why you should wait on kids or not have any children at all. What you should understand about having children out of wedlock. All right, so I went over a lot of things. You know, so as far as the whole wedlock thing, if you decide to not be with the woman that you have children with or a child with, and hypothetical scenario, you can make this man or woman, but let's just create this scenario out of thin air. Like I said, for my example, let's create this scenario that the person that you're with is not stable, meaning they haven't found themselves yet. They still have some soul searching to do. They're not in the career or the field that they want to be in. They still have things that they want to pursue. They have a lot of imbalances in their life. There's things that are always up and down. There's like I said, there's work that needs to be done. But you, on the other hand, you found the core things of what you want to do with your life, and you're pursuing them, and your income is steady and is growing, and it's everything about you. You got your car set, you got your income set, you know what I mean, you got stuff set aside for finances. You're set. You know what I'm saying? Everything about you is going up and up. But the person that you're with may not have everything as stable. That can be a mixture for disaster, you know, in my opinion. Like I said, these are just opinions, but this is also from what I noticed. I love to study, so I studied a lot of things. I studied a lot of people. I studied myself, habits and things like that. So that's where this is coming from. All right, so like I said, let's create the scenario of, like I said, I'm speaking to men, so this is a video for young men. Let's create the scenario that the young lady that you're deciding to pursue is not stable yet. There's a lot of women that feel like they could be good girlfriends, you know what I mean? But then I'm raising daughters right now, so in my opinion, it's like, you know, like I said, men and women, we can soul search. We can find things that we want to pursue in life. It doesn't have to be always business status, you know what I mean, but you know what I mean, the whole being comfortable and being stable is definitely a thing, as far as long as you're able to sustain it and you can grow from it, you know what I mean. So like, unless as a man you have everything covered, like I said, this is an issue with having kids out of wedlock. Unless you're a man that has everything covered, and I'm talking about you could pay for food. You could pay for your food without food stamps. You're paying for your housing. You know, you know what I mean? Like there's programs. I'm not saying that you can't get assistance, but like I said, like as a man, you know, if you're dealing with somebody that is not able to support themselves, you can run into some issues, and I'm telling you that these are the things that you need to be able to cover: food, housing, the bills. That's what I'm saying. So this is just the rent, and then you got the bills. Like I said, I'll go over to some real world numbers. Child care, right? Okay, so then, like I said in a previous video, as a man, what kind of job do you have? Are you doing what you want to do? Like, is it allowing you, and not even what you want to do, like, do you have a job that you're able to put money aside and stack and still pay all your bills and pay your rent? That's what it comes down to. Stop with all this fancy stuff about, I was gonna say, I'm not, if you hustling, you hustling. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But I'm talking about the men that want to get it for real. Like, do you have a job? Ain't nobody about to claim you by having a job. Some niggas can hustle, some can't. Nobody's about to claim you by having a job. Do you have a regular job? Can you keep that job? If you can't keep that job, are you somebody that can hustle legally or whatever other means that you can hustle to make sure that you got ends meet? Can you get the money? Can you flip it? Can you make it? Can you put it in the bank? You know what I mean? Can you work on some stuff? Can you get your credit right? Like, these are all things that you don't necessarily need a job, but I'm telling you, you need a skill. You need a skill, all right? So some real world numbers. Let's say you're living in California. I used to live in California. You know what I mean? I plan on going back. I ain't talking about that, but, shout out to Cal. City by the beach, Long Beach. So let's just say I put $1,800, but realistically you can find an apartment, a 2-bedroom. I think it's steadily, becoming more stable, but let's just say $1,700. I put $1,800, let's go $1,800. $1,800 for rent. If you got kids, they flickering with lights, they going through the fridge 1,000 times a day. You might have the AC on. Let's go average $200 for bills. You got lights, gas, food, roughly $600, and that's on the low end. Some people spend upwards of $1,000 on food. Child care can be upwards of $900 a month, and that's on the low end. Some people pay upwards of $1,000 for daycare, child care. And this is not even with a car note, but I put $400 monthly. That's just with gas. You know what I mean? Yearly car repairs. So I averaged it out. You know what I mean? I averaged it out to how much you might be paying for gas and other, small things with your car over the course of the year. So I averaged it out to about $400 a month, right? So let's say I got my phone right here. I didn't even do that math yet. So let's see real quick. Let's see how much this is yearly, real quick. Let's see. So we're going $1,800 a month times 12. We got 20. Yeah, I got a pen right here. Where my other pen going? I think I put my pen in my notebook. I don't know where I put it at. Where I put all them damn notebooks at? Brain forward. Where did I put you? Okay, I guess I'll just be using you. So, alright, so we got $21,600 for the year. Right? Groceries are 600 times 12. 600 times 12. That's 7,200 for groceries, child care, and this is if you and your woman decide to go to work, like I said. So, 900 times 12. That's 10 grand, almost 11. Car expensive, like I said, I put the expenses around 400 times 12. So we got 4,800 for the yearly cost of the car, which is not bad. Healthcare for 3, depending on if you get it through your job. Like I said, as a man, you got to be able to cover a lot of these things. So it's like, this is for you, yourself, or with family. So by yourself, it might cost you like 70 out of your check. With your kids, like I said, I've done it before. It'll cost me like 125, 150 out of my check. That's for insurance. That's that good insurance. Like I said, if you working and you busting your ass, this is nothing, right? So 125 times 3, that's only 1,500 for insurance yearly. Clothes, other small stuff. Like I said, you might spend, then this is going off of you buying stuff for your kids monthly at around 150. You know, they might grow out some shoes, you know, some shirt. You might do some, that's what I'm saying, you might set aside a budget. So I put it already in here. I put 150 for the year times 12, that's 150. That's only 1,800. And real life scenario, just had a job, $21 an hour, working, let's go, I was actually getting paid closer to 22 times 45 hours times 4. So this is before taxes, 396 times 12. So this is with making $47,520 yearly. That's before taxes. After taxes, like I said, for my calculation, like right from this, I probably just end up taking $5,000 right off top. Typically, I just drop this all the way down to 40 so I can make it an even number. But this is typical. So let's see, let's go with 4,200 yearly after taxes. That's not, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's a good number. So we got 40. So like I said, I just did a real life example. $42,000 is what you're making yearly. Your rent is gonna cost you $21,000. Let's round that up to $22,000 a year. Food is gonna cost you close to $8,000 a year. Childcare is gonna cost you close to $11,000 a year. Car expenses is gonna cost you close to $5,000 a year. These are just rough numbers. Like I said, this is just how it is. You know what I mean? This is how fast money can really go. And if you really get money, this is nothing. But some people, this is actually a lot of money. Healthcare, $1,500 a year. Miscellaneous stuff, I put, you know, that's anywhere from your, I didn't add even in your cell phone bill. Like I said, shoes, Starbucks, eating out, clothes, just anything. Okay, my bad, my battery died. But yeah, so that can be anywhere from 1,500. Talking about the miscellaneous stuff, that can be anywhere from 1,500 to upwards of $5,000, $10,000. You know what I mean? Depending on how people like to splurge. I mean, I seen $5,000, I seen $10,000 disappear out of my account before. So, and I can't even remember what it was spent on. So that's why I'm like, bro, like when I tell you as a man, you got to be accountable for every dollar you spend. You might as well just keep track of every dollar you spend and start killing all the stupid stuff. Start learning how to manage your money the right way. There's a ton of people on YouTube that I respect that show you how to get your finances in order. I'm not, you know, a financial expert. It is 1:39. Ask your sister to get your fruit snacks. But I just, like I said, I just know as a man, there's a lot of things that you're gonna have to cover, and money is so serious. Money is so serious. So, like that's what I'm saying. I haven't even did the totals, but we already did the rough total of $47,000, roughly $48,000. Basic job, working 22 hours, for $22 an hour, 45 hours a week. You know, that's a little bit of overtime. They're gonna take about $5,000 out of your check. You're gonna get that back in taxes, but like I said, you're gonna be roughly after taxes what your W-2 will say is about $42,000 a year. We just went over all the rent and the food, and this is without any assistance. So these are the numbers without any assistance. All right. So we got the 21,000. Like I said, we went up with the estimate. So 22,000 plus 8 plus 11 plus 5,000, 15,000, 18. All right, so without any assistance and the numbers we just did, pretty much with everything that you would pay for without assistance, you would actually be under. The total of everything we just calculated came out to $9,300, right? But you only bringing home $42,000 a year. You are under $7,300 in this example. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that's like, in this example, it's like there's a lot of things you can rework, but like I said, just giving those simple numbers, it's like, what the hell is going on? Like what are you spending money on? Like, not even that. Yeah, pretty much what are you spending money on? Where's your money going? Can you figure out how to save some money on rent? Like I said, rent may not be this high. You might be able to save a couple $1,000s on the rent, because rent typically in certain areas, like I said, rent was jumping up at like almost $150. I think that's around 10%, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's all they can do. I don't know if that's a yearly or how the public housing system works. So I'm probably gonna dig more into it, but like I said, these are just the numbers, like without assistance. So as a man, of course, there's a lot of things that you can rework to where you can drop this number down. But if your job, you only making 42, there's a lot of things on this list that you need to be saving on, right? The rent. This is groceries without eating out. So yeah, maybe there's somehow that you can rework this number, but typically you're gonna spend $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 on food. So just think about that before you really be trying to spend money out. You know what I mean? Let's calculate. Like I said, as a man, start calculating every dollar that you spend. If you have kids, like I said, this is just one kid, and this is a hypothetical situation, but this is something that is actually really being paid. It's almost $900 a year in childcare. Is somebody staying home or is somebody working? Because average 900, that's what I'm saying, 900 over 12 months, that's almost 11 grand right there. Do you own your car, or is this a car note? That's what I'm saying, I put $400 monthly. This is probably easily somebody's car note. That's $5 grand a year, just for a $400 car note, right? So like I said, like, how much are you spending in gas? Some people only spend maybe $200 in gas. Some people spend $250 in gas. I put estimate $400, like I said, because what you get, you might spend $250 in gas. Some people may spend a little bit more depending on the size of their car. And then you go into oil changes, you go into getting brakes done, you go into getting spark plugs, rotors, catalytic converter. So you might get a window fix. So all that is calculated into that. And that's what I'm saying. What maybe you might fall under Medi-Cal. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Some programs you can make a single or married. You know what I'm saying? You got to be making what, maybe upwards of 70,000. So there's some things that you're getting a tax break, or you're getting benefits on, because you're not in you're making under $50,000 a year. So maybe healthcare is a little bit cheaper, but what I'm saying, 125, that's only $1,500 a month. That's probably the cheapest thing on here, but that's gonna make sure that your family is set, you know, over the long haul, you know, versus going to, you know what I mean, when you need those emergencies. I'm telling you, they come in handy when those things come in play, when your child is sick and you're waiting on basic insurance, and some things it's not even worth it. It's not even worth tampering with. You want to just pay for insurance. I'm letting you know. You know what I mean? And if you can't, you want to get to the ability where you can. You want to get to that. That's what I'm saying. Work your ass off, bro. That's what I'm saying. You already had the kids. You need to work your ass off now. And then that's what I'm saying. We got to fall back on the miscellaneous stuff. You know what I mean? Not so much everything, but like I said, buying clothes when you need them, not when you want them. You know what I mean? Or, you know, there's special occasions. But, you know what I mean? If you're not at that ability, we need to wait until we are there to be splurging money like that. Not even splurging, doing it, you know, like I said, there's another video that I haven't put out yet, but it was going into, I'm not a financial expert, I was going off of somebody else. Is it Michael, no, is it Golden? Is it Golden? I gotta remember it. But I've watched a lot of his videos, and I bought one of his books, and he goes, it's from Trash Man to Cash Man. It just goes into pretty much how you should do your spending and reach success, the success that you want for yourself, and pretty much how your money should be wired. I pretty much I'm working on getting back to that, you know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of things about my life that I'm restructuring. So I just wanted to talk to the men, go over the real world numbers, and it's like I said, you want to spend $5,000 a year on yourself. That's not even a lot of money. You know, some people spend $5,000 on themselves in a month. So I can't say that's not even a lot of money, but if you think about having kids, our income got to be a little bit higher than this to really be splurging. So this is just the basic job. Some people make more than this. Some people have more than one job. So, you know, they're not making $42,000 a year after taxes. Some people, you know, they might have a couple businesses, a couple side hustles, and so they're making closer to $82,000 a year. You know what I mean? So then these numbers, they're still logical. But that's what I'm saying. But then now it's like, okay, what are you doing with the other $38,000 a year that you're making? Because let's just say we got to put, because you know you got to do your taxes. So all this goes under one umbrella. You know what I mean? So how much money have you set aside? You know what I mean? How much money are you, like I said, you already getting $5,000 taken out for this, but that's what I'm saying. What about the rest of the stuff that you adding in? You know, tax expenses. Like, do you have your businesses set up to where you have all your business income going only that direction, and then you have cars and you're paying for your business stuff with your business Visa, with your business debit card? You know what I mean? Not coming out of your personal account. You know, so to help these numbers and get deductions and actually save yourself some money besides owing the court. So then now you got a job where you're getting taxes back, but now you owe because of all the stuff that you do outside of your work because you don't know how to do your paperwork right. Sorry if this is a long video. Like I said, I went over a couple things. And I put, in order to be winning, no strings attached. It says simple, make enough money to support yourself and your seeds from your income alone, or the government will try to snag some of your finances. So I went over all those numbers pretty much because as a man, like I said, if you decide not to be with the woman of your kids, we already went over what they can get. They can get welfare. They can get SNAP. They can get food stamps, right? They can get medical. And what we need to understand, young men, plus myself, what I had to understand is that the government is going to come for a portion of your check if you do not pay for these things as a man. So even if you can be with her, you can be with her, and hopefully she doing well for herself so she can cover what this actually costs too. You know, for the kids, or y'all split, or however you do it. But I had to understand that like I said, if you're deciding, either you're married and like I said, hopefully you're combining incomes and you're doing well and you're reaching close to that $100,000, $80,000, $100,000 mark, and y'all doing something smart with y'all money and you're investing and you're not splurging and you're doing right for your kids and the house is stable, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of instances where, like I said, men and women, we're dealing with souls that may not be able to support themselves as well as other people. And like I said, there's, in some states, these are hyped up. And I know it don't make men feel good about themselves when we have to go to a regular job and then you find out that they're taking taxes out of it. They're taking child support out of your check, or they're taking it out of your taxes. So just so I'm saying that there's so many scenarios where this could happen. You're getting food stamps and now they're taking it out of your taxes. The mother of your children is getting food stamps and they're going to get their money back. They're either going to take it from you or they're going to take it from her. Somebody's going to pay for this food that they think is free. You know, you want cash with the SNAP. Like I said, they're about to hunt the person that they think is these children's father, and they're going to get their money back. As well as some things that have to do with medical. So I was like, so the more support that they ask for, the more they're going to hunt you down and get their money back. And that's like the core reality of it. And I know it sucks, but it's like, that's the fight that we're up against that we really need to understand as men. So it's like, either you decide and you can cover it and you're not no wimp about it and you just understand that it is what it is, or you whining about it and now she got you in court, and you know what I mean, either way it's still a lose-lose for you, because now you're about to be losing money and you still gonna have to work and bust your ass to make the money, and they're gonna be taking money from you for 20, 25 years, some people 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? I know horror stories. I know a grown ass man right now that's still trying to get money from him. This, you know what I'm saying? A man don't want to work. So just imagine that. Your kids is grown, but they got back child support on you. So you trying to work and they still trying to take money out of your check. And it's nothing you can do about it. I'm telling you, this is a real world example. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing you can do about it. Either you gonna bust your ass, don't consider yourself no hustle, no dope boy, don't got no money to the side, or you can't wash it and you can't do nothing with it. And don't say it don't matter. That's what I'm saying. And the crazy thing is, in Cali, weed is legal. So it's just like, bro, if you about to hustle, like, hustle your ass off. Don't be trying to do it in small change. Because if you out here having all these kids and you can't pay for them, and that's what I'm saying, like, what is it, roughly $15,000 a year, $15,000 to $17,000 a year on the kids. I just went over the numbers. That's something that they just say that's on the kid. But we just went over the numbers, and that's what I'm saying. That you can add kids into that, but I'm saying these numbers can be just for yourself. Rent, you gotta pay for that yourself. You can go down to a 1-bedroom. I'm saying, oh yeah, in Cali, 1-bedroom studio, $1,500, $1,600. You saving what, $200-$300 a month? Okay, well, shave off $2,000. Food, you know what I'm saying? You might not spend $600 on yourself for food. It might be $300, it might be $200. Understandable, you know what I'm saying? But more like $600, you know what I'm saying? That's closer to the range. I would say by yourself, I'll say like $300. Child care, you can eliminate that. So right there, you saving 10 bands, no kid. You saving 11 bands right there, no kid. Car. Like I said, you own your car, you know how to do your own oil changes, you know how to do your own brakes as a man, boom, you saving a lot of money. So now you're not spending $5,000 to $7,000. Maybe, you know what I mean, you only paying for gas, so maybe you saving a couple, $200. So now I'm saying, so now you only paying for gas, because you know how to do a lot of stuff as yourself as a man. For your insurance, you're not spending $125, $150 a month. You're only spending $70 a month, $50 a month. Okay, now I'm saying, now you got the money to splurge for yourself, because you're not spending so much on your rent, because you're not spending so much on food, because you're not spending any money on child care, because you're spending half the money on gas. Because remember, I'm adding in gas, dropping off kids, picking them up, taking them places, driving around to get your kids to go to sleep. You might spend a little bit more gas than you want. Then the health care, like I said, you're not doing 3 people, 2 kids. You know, or if you marry 4 people. You see what I mean? And then when you go in the just the clothes and the shoes, you gotta multiply that times the kids. So I put 150. That might just be one kid. You don't know. I don't know how many times my mom has came back with things for my daughter, like just randomly. Like every weekend they just see something. So you just imagine how women think when it comes to clothes. Oh, my baby need this. My grandbaby need this. Oh, my niece need this. Oh, my nephew need this. Just, family and women, and that's just what they do. They go in the store and they just see something cute, and it's like, oh, my family gotta have it. That's just how it is. So as a man, if you don't notice that, try to stay away from women, because that's coming. And if you can't front that bill, like I said, and you got this woman out here doing it by herself, of course she's gonna try to figure out how to get something out of you. Because it's just like we gotta be real. That's what I'm saying. Men, let's take accountability. You decide to lay down with her, so just take those consequences to the chin. You know what I'm saying? Just let's man up and just get it done. And like I said, I know it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? But you gotta think positively about yourself. And if you don't, you're just gonna put yourself in a hole, and it's gonna suck. You're gonna be so hurt. And that's what I'm saying. So let's get back into my notes. It says, you make the situation worse for yourself dealing with a woman who can't get her own money, or only wants to use you and the government for her beneficial gain. So it could be hard trying to figure women out. Vetting is essential. They always tell me to be careful. They always tell you to be careful who you procreate with, because it can be hell for the next 18 to 21 years. You know what I'm saying? Some states, child support lasts until they like 20, 21. That's why they say if you don't have joint or full custody or legally married and have the good understanding with the mother or father of your children, and they have their own cash flow. So that's really what the premise of the video is about. Making sure both sides are stable, not in a negative way. Like I said, women tend to want to be home with their kids, and that's actually what I was getting into. Let's see if I have it here soon before I be jumping the gun, because I always do that. It says you could be open to a child support filing garnished wages without even knowing. So like I said, I talked about that earlier. The government resources have more of a negative impact or a negative effect than some really pay attention to, mainly those that can't do or take accountability for not bettering themselves, for not bettering themselves for them or their children. All right, so last little part. And let's see, I said like I said, I talked about it earlier. Any type of child care can be linked to the parent or the other, depending on who has the kids. Food stamps is another program that can hurt. That can hurt you around tax time. So it's just some notes that I took that I wanted to read out. Make sure I covered everything. Understanding understanding the role that the mother of your children play. Most women want to stay at home with their children until they're at least 5 years old. So understanding this as a man, like I said, there's some women they want to go to work a lot faster. They don't really want to sit at home. But then that $900 a month for one child and child care, that plays a part. So like I said, is mom staying home with the kids, or is she eager to go back to work? Because then somebody's going to be fitting that bill for child care, depending on if she could pay for it herself, or if she is alone and you left her alone to cover a lot of these issues so she can go back to work, because she's not making any money sitting at home because she has to go to work. Single mom issue, that a lot of women go through. That child care, like I said, men, they could be looking for you for that. It's very possible. So watch out for that. Like I said, that's just another concern. Either you deal with it or it will deal with you. I'm just the messenger. I'm not trying to be mean. That's like some people skate by and don't have to deal with it, but I'm letting you know as a man, that's possible that you can have that. That's possible that you might have to deal with that. How many years as a man? Got timers. All right, so last little bit. How many years as a man can you handle your woman not working? Does she have other sources of income? How many sources of income do you have? Can you cover her portion of the bills until things change? This is less about who should be doing what and more about both parties being stable as possible, being the most stable as possible to give the children a stable life, right? So, like I said, it's not about who should be doing what as a man. We should be handling a lot of what is going on if we are deciding to sleep with women. That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody, you know what I'm saying? If your dad didn't say it, my dad did, like getting boom boom is like it's a responsibility, like, and there's a lot of brothers that take it lightly. I had to understand, and so I don't take it lightly, but that's when, like you said, you know what I mean, like I just said earlier, you know, you got to take it to the chin sometimes and deal with the consequences. That if you deem them, if you see them as consequences, taking those to the chin and dealing with them like as a man and not pouting about it, just making sure that you can create a situation for yourself that's beneficial. And for those that just can't stay out the box, I really don't know what to tell you. Nothing is going to help you until you can get your addiction down. You really need to start watching that prom, bro. You got to start watching that prom. Like, it's messing you up. It's messing you up. And a lot of us think about families, but then we see all the horrible situations that's going on. And I got to be thankful for the mother of my children, but it's like, as a man, there's still a lot of concerns that I have that I feel like that worry me in pretty much any relationship because of that pull that you should actually get from your woman. You know what I'm saying? Every woman doesn't necessarily have it. You're not going to find it in every woman. So it's like, that's where they say, like, man or woman, that's where that search kind of comes into play, but that's vetting. Like, a lot of people think like they gotta sleep with everybody that they meet or that they date, and that's not true. Some of that energy is not meant to mesh, it's not meant to mix, but we end up doing it anyway, and that's where a lot of negative downfalls happen, because we end up sleeping with people who we're only supposed to initially learn a different lesson from. Now it's a whole different lesson that we weren't supposed to even learn, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So it's just taking it as a man, getting to the understanding that, okay, what do I have to do to provide for these kids? You know what I mean? Because like I said, it's either you gonna figure out how to handle it, or the government in some way, shape, or form is gonna figure out how to get it back from you. So like I said, like, either y'all together and making it work, and somebody got cash flow and you able to, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of women, they like doing stuff they sell. So it's just like, okay, help me out with this, and if you say you got money like that, it shouldn't really be, it should be little. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. If it's very little that you got to be concerned with, it should be like here. Maybe I'm talking crazy, but it's like I said, either you got it all, and as I'm saying, you either have joint custody, so then she can take care of her portion, and that's what she has to do, is take care of her portion, and you got your portion down pat, or you got full custody, so then you just taking care of everything. And that's what I'm saying. So then you got to figure out how to save money, how to make more money, all those things, and it's not necessarily concerned. But there's a lot of men that, I'm saying, they let the woman keep the kids, then they let the woman get on support without helping her, and thinking that the government is not gonna come for you. She putting social securities down in these programs, and they're gonna come for you. They're trying to figure out how to get their money back. She's in the housing program, so now she only paid $200-$300 for rent. She in the food stamp program. She getting $500-$600 in food stamps. Sometimes upwards of $1,000. She got 2, 3, 4 kids. She getting $1,000 in food stamps a month. Next thing you know, she getting what? She getting help with the electricity and the gas bill. She on a plan for that. Come on now. That's what I'm saying. Insurance, dental, medical. All the kids is on Medi-Cal. I think I just saw something. All the kids is on Medi-Cal. Like, they're gonna come for you for something. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I really understand. Like, respect to the women that don't just go out there running to put the father of their children on child support because they know what it's gonna do, and they actually play their part. But damn, can the men pick it up? You got good women out here and y'all treating them like trash. Like, they don't even want to deal with the system. But like, sometimes, that's what I'm saying, I get it. Some of these women don't even be having a choice. And then you mad at them, but you ain't even making $20,000 a year for yourself. Like, so she get it, but you out here thinking you hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even. You out here giving money to the next chick, but then your chick is the one covering all the bills. You trying to make sure the next chick is good, but you ain't bought your son no shoes in months since your child was born. This is ridiculous. Come on now. Sorry if this is a long video, I'll be going into rants, but I had to go off. If you like the content, go ahead and give me a like. Hit the subscribe button. Leave me something in the comments, show me some love. We're reaching 304 subscribers. Real close to 500. Go ahead and give me a subscribe. Hit that like for your boy. Share this if I said anything meaningful. I'll chop it up and see what good points I made. Much love. But until next time, let your soul speak.